feeling incredibly angry at the Democrats right now. I am not a Democrat. I'm a liberal, which means I believe in individual rights and civil liberties. I believe in democracy and a free society. I am someone willing to respect people's behavior and opinions, even if they're different than mine, and I'm very open to new ideas. I'm someone who believes in the rule of law and the rights of man, and I understand that we need competent leaders for a civil society to run. But if those leaders are bad or don't do their jobs, I firmly believe we should be able to replace them. I vote for Democrats because they're the party that's aligned closer to those values than the alternative. And because I'm a pragmatist, I understand the country works on a two-party system. That doesn't mean I won't criticize the Democrats or push them to do more or blindly support their actions. It just means, to paraphrase my friend Franklin Leonard, of the two parties, they are simply the one I believe I have a better chance of fighting about the future with. But after running a campaign telling us exactly what those of us who have been paying attention know, that Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans are an existential threat to this nation, to our democracy, to the rule of law, to the world order, the fact that so many of them seem to be normalizing this moment and acting like it's business as usual is disturbing. I'm okay if you're just trying to get a lay of the land and you're listening and you're learning right now. I am incredibly pleased to see brave leaders like AOC and Elizabeth Warren actually addressing the American people and acknowledging their fears and helping them come to terms with what's next. I appreciate congressional members like former CIA operative Abigail Spanberger, who's speaking up against the threat to global security if we put someone like Tulsi Gabbard, who is known to be aligned with Vladimir Putin and Bashar al-Assad and traffics heavily in Russian-based conspiracy, as head of our national intelligence. I am super proud of Democratic governors like Gavin Newsom and J.B. Pritzker standing up for the rights of their people in the face of this autocratic takeover. But national leadership? What are you doing? You're not even going to address us? You're not going to give us the respect of an audit of a very peculiar election with catastrophic results for the American future? We understand it most likely won't change the results, but at least try to assuage people's very genuine concerns about how weird it all went down. You're just going to do photo shoots and Sunday shows and give us platitudes about setbacks when Americans around the country are trying to figure out how to stay alive in the next administration without things like healthcare or Social Security? It's just business as usual as the LGBTQ families worry about their marriages or their children being taken away from them. You really have no words for women as we watch the same unworthy and unprepared man beat yet another extraordinary woman for leadership. No movement to be trying to pass laws to protect our right to, say, get divorced or have access to contraception under a sexual predator president, filling his cabinet with other sexual predators or religious folks who see women as subservient and subordinate. You have nothing to say to the Black community who voted for you by extraordinary margins and are now hearing about white reparations? Nothing for trans people or trans children who have been demonized for years and are terrified about this upcoming administration. You have no words of wisdom or fight left for parents of America who might lose their children to long eradicated diseases or their public school education to private Christian academies. You don't feel like it's appropriate to reach out to the disabled or immigrant communities who are looking at this horrifying hellscape ahead of them. You don't think you should do that because that is incredibly disappointing. I mean, you guys lost. And it wasn't for lack of money or effort or enthusiasm on our parts. I don't blame Harris or Walz. They were great candidates. You guys didn't reach enough people. And now it seems like you're doubling down on ignoring us and what we need again. And it has to stop. You have to get out of your bubble. You have to regroup, get fresh leadership, use fresh eyes. The old guard has had their shot over and over again. And here we are completely out of federal power with everyone in the nation about to suffer under a mad dictator. So the buck stops here. Your party is in ashes. For goodness sakes, allow something new and better to rise from it.